Okay, so inside this training, we're going to go over, guys, how to add 200 deals in 12 months using keyword hacking. Now, what we're going to go over, what's covered in that is we're going to go over what keyword hacking is. I do understand that it's a new term, right? This technology that we have, this technology that we got a hold of that I'm getting ready to present to you guys is something that it just wasn't out before. And so this is something that's new that's going to give you guys a competitive advantage. It's going to allow you guys to dominate your market. This is literally like Google Ads in 2002 when they first came out, because everything, they were ahead of the curve. Everything was cheaper because there was less competition. There was more deals than there were actual vendors competing on Google, right? This is one of those situations. So you guys are going to want to really pay attention to this. So we're going to discover what keyword hacking is. We're going to really dive into it. Then I'm going to give you guys a bird's eye view of implementing keyword hacking. And then I have some goals, some targets that I want you guys to set so that you guys can set this up for this module, right? So first things first, we're going to discover and talk about what keyword hacking is. And what I want to do is I want to start from the perspective of the end market shopper. So if you guys are watching my screen now, you should be able to see what I'm showing here on Google. So when I type in used car dealership, there are a couple different placements that people are actually, they're paying money in marketing to show up. So number one, typically, and you see this here, you have an ad that shows up. Okay. Now, typically there's an ad actually above that. And then right below that, you have your 3-pack, right? And this is where 3 different dealerships will show up using local SEO. And then you may have an ad in there as well. And then right below that, you got just regular SEO. Okay. So for you to show up in an ad, you have to understand how to run Google Ads. You have to understand how to be successful at it. You have to have a complete understanding of what it is and how it works and why it works, right? And for you to show up here in the 3-pack, number one, you got to understand Google Ads. But number two, you got to understand local SEO. So that's an entire skill set within itself, right? You got to know how to ensure that you got to be able to keep up with your reviews, right? You got to be able to deliver on that. You got to be able to keep up with the photos that you have listed because you guys are going to get a lot of eyeballs. Local SEO is extremely important. It allows you guys to show up right here in the beginning of this real estate, and allows you guys to do it without having to run any paid ads. And then right below that, you have just website SEO. So this is an entire skill set within itself. You got on-site SEO, you got off-site SEO. There's a lot of different skills that you got to master to ensure that you guys show up here. And even then, if something changes, your rankings drop, you're off the first page. No one sees you again. So there are 3 different stages to it. And so I just want to make sure that we all understand that what I'm getting ready to show you is going to allow you guys to take all of those 3 different categories of marketing, push it to the side. You won't even have to worry about it. And we're going into a little bit of detail further down in this webinar. All right, so get this loaded up. All right, so I kind of explained what keyword hacking is, or no, actually, we're getting ready to. I kind of explained some of the background of it, but we're getting ready to get into what keyword hacking it truly is. Okay, and I should have probably just jumped right into that. So first thing I want to show you guys is this is a keyword planner. You don't have to really know what this is, but I just want to show you guys something here. When I type in used car dealership, I'm going to pick on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pick on buy here, pay here dealers because it really doesn't matter what dealership you are. Because every dealership are going to have keywords that are relative to them, right? So if you're a luxury car dealership, you got luxury car dealership keywords. If you are a volume dealer, you got volume dealer keywords. If you are a franchise, you got franchise. It doesn't matter. You guys are going to have keywords that are relative to your business. So I'm going to pick on Chicago here. So I'm going to hit get results. And so Chicago currently is getting 32,000 monthly searches for people typing in buy here, pay here. Now, these are keywords that are relative to that. And so if I just go ahead and separate this and start with the keywords that are getting the most traffic, every single month you're talking about 1,600 monthly searches every single month, and it's up 50%. Most of these are up year over year, up 3 over the last 3 months, right? So it's picking up right now. What I will say though, here's what I will say: we're getting ready to enter fourth quarter of 2024. Okay. we're kind of in a credit crisis. So I don't, I see why this is going up. I think people are having some issues with their credit and they're having to resort more to buy here, pay here, right? That's just my opinion. But anyway, long story short, what keyword hacking is going to allow you guys to do is instead of you guys paying $11 for every single click, or on the low range it says $3, right? So let's just say in between. So every single click you're going to pay $5, right? If you take $5 and you get 100 clicks, right? We just do the math on this. You're talking $500. So for 100 clicks, you're talking $500. And then you have a conversion rate on your website of 2-3%. So now you're talking about 2 or 3 people that actually submit a lead, right? And then you may have a conversion rate of 15-20% from lead to actual sale. And so like all of this actually counts. So you end up having to shell out. You can't rely on 100 visitors, right? So now you got to expand that out, and you may have to rely on 1,500, 2,000. It's common for dealerships to get 2,000-3,000 visitors coming from one specific keyword, right? You really need a lot of traffic to get the amount of leads that you need to be in, because of the percentages, so that you guys are actually moving the needle. And so if you're a big spender, you can play here, and big spenders are playing here. That's how they're playing their game, right? But what if you're not a big spender? What if you don't want to spend 10 grand a month on Google Ads, or 15 grand a month on Google Ads, and then 15 grand over here, and then 20 grand over here, right? If you don't want to do any of that, keyword hacking allows you guys to actually take a keyword. You can literally just take a keyword, and every time someone searches in that keyword, that person actually becomes a lead for your business. And what I mean by that is when they go on to Google and they type in used car dealership near me, the moment they type that in, there's no website they have to go to, there's no form they have to fill out. That lead information gets sent over to you directly. And how it works is there's a software that actually grabs and identifies the people that are actually searching this in. It's crazy. I know. Like this is with AI being introduced into the marketplace. Software has like literally gone crazy. And so this is just things that you never fathom about. Like these are things that you never really thought about, that you couldn't fathom. I mean, think about it. I don't know, 150 years ago, right? Being on a telephone and just being able to call somebody, pick up the phone, and literally connect with somebody across the world within seconds. Like that was unheard of, right? And so like this sounds freaky, but I guarantee you in the next 5 to 10 years, everybody's going to adopt it once they found out the technology. And so essentially I type in used car dealership, then the system is going to identify who I am via my IP address. And then it's going to take that information and it's going to cross-reference it with a third-party information. And third-party information, if you guys don't know, a lot of you guys understand what a privacy notice is, I assume. And if you're working at a car dealership where they say, hey, this is what we're, depending on who you're dealing with, the banks will come back and say, hey, this is what we do with your credit, right? Here's our privacy notice. They're selling the information off to other people. And so that information, for you to acquire that car, you put in the right email address, you put in your right first and last name, you put in your email address on that credit app, whatever. I'm not sure exactly what they all sell. But anyway, what I'm getting at here is third-party information is data that they've purchased from credit card companies, other people who have your information. We cross-reference that with third-party information. And then we, from there, are able to send all the leads straight into your CRM. So you get the first and last name, you get the phone number, you get the email address, you get the physical address. And they never had to land on your website. They never had to land on your website. They never had to fill out a form on your website. You didn't have to worry about having good local SEO for them to show up, for you to show up here, and then having a good website to actually get the conversion. You didn't have to worry about any of that, right? I am telling you guys, this is something that people are going to catch on to sooner or later, but you guys have the opportunity to get onto it right now. So essentially, that's exactly what keyword hacking is. So you don't have to depend on paid ads. You don't have to depend on SEO. You don't have to worry about a website. You don't have to capture users from, it's going to capture users directly from search queries, not web conversions. That is the benefit that you guys are going to get from this. So here's a bird's eye view of setting up the system. The first thing you guys are going to do is, I want you, again, I'm going to put myself in the perspective of a prospect. The user is going to come on to Google, and then they're actually going to search in a keyword relative to your dealership. Now you're going to pick out these keywords. But anyway, once that happens, the system is going to identify the user. It's going to confirm the accurate information, like I was telling you before, cross-referencing with third-party information that's more correct, more recent. And then from there, we're going to transfer that lead right over into your CRM. And then you guys are going to make contact and you're going to book an appointment from there. So when it comes to ensuring that you're having the right keyword, what you want to do is you want to make sure you target your keywords starting off. You want to make sure you're picking out the right keywords that are going to attract the right people that you want to deal with. If you are a dealership that deals with prime and doesn't really deal with subprime, you don't want to be showing up and getting leads sent to you from buy here, pay here keywords, right? So you want to be extremely selective. Now, there should be a link somewhere on this page, video, chat. If you guys go ahead and click that link, it's going to ask you guys to book a call. Once you book that call, there should be an option for you guys to tell me what type of dealership you are. Obviously, everybody has their own niche. Everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own way and their own model. And so essentially, you're going to give me that information. I'm going to let you know exactly what keywords you should be using. And then from there, that's exactly where you start. And then I want you guys to partner with a web identification company. So a web identification company is a company that actually does this type of service that I'm talking about. So when someone types in or searches in a keyword, they're actually able to, matter of fact, take that back. Web identification companies can't actually pull up search queries and send you information. Okay. What they can do, though, I got a little bit ahead of myself. What they can do is they can identify everybody who is on your website. So they put a cookie on your website. Everybody who lands on your website, they take the IP address, and then that IP address, they're going to go ahead and pull the first and last name, email address, all that contact information that you're using. Typically, they do cross-reference it. Sometimes they don't. They just use the IP address and say, hey, whatever the IP address links to whatever name, that's what you're going to get. But you want to partner with a web identification company. Now, they don't actually send you leads from search queries. If you're interested in that, then I want you guys to go ahead and book a call. But you can partner with the web. You can start with your website, is what I'm getting at here. That's really the first place you can start at. If you really want to just get started, get going extremely fast, right? Without doing it yourself, you can just partner with a web identification company and they'll give you the identification of the users that are coming to your website. Now, once you have and identify these people, what you want to do is you want to skip trace the information. And the reason why you want to skip trace the information is you want to cross-reference that information and confirm that it's the right information. I promise you, if you guys do not do this, you're going to get 70% of your leads that are coming with bad emails, phone numbers, or from 10 years ago. No one ever uses it again. You do not want to go through that, right? Now you're adding more stuff to your plate. So just make sure you cross-reference that information before you give it out to the sales team. Then you want to transfer that lead into your CRM. And starting for you guys to be able to do that, you want to start a leads bridge account. We'll go over how to do that. And that leads bridge account will allow you guys to take that information from wherever you're getting it from. And if you're working with a skip, or if you're working with a web identification company, they're probably going to send you the leads via CSV file or something like that. Leads bridge is going to allow you to take CSV files and all those other bridges, and it's going to allow you to take that information and put it right into your CRM. Okay. Now, if you guys having issues on that, feel free to book a call. I'll do my best to kind of help you guys out on that part of it, because I know that that's where a lot of people get stuck at. Now, once you do that, this is where you want to run targeted email campaigns. Okay. Now, they have to be effective, but if you're starting out, anything is better than nothing, guys. This doesn't have to be perfect. Just get the frequency going. That's more important. Start out with one time a week. These are people that have identified and said they're in the market. They're searching. They're going to buy. Like, out of all the people that you're getting, you're going to have a good chunk of those people buy immediately. So make sure you're sending out emails. And if you want to take it a step further, you don't have to run ads. But if you really wanted to put fuel on this fire, just run retargeting ads to the people who are actually typing in things into Google that are relative to your business. Because essentially what you're doing is you're building an audience around people who didn't even show up on your website. So like this isn't retargeting. In a sense, it is retargeting, but it's not retargeting in the sense of someone had to land on your website. This is retargeting from people who just type in a search inquiry. And so this is extremely important that you do that very, very well. Now, you don't even have to run ads, but you can really throw a lot of fuel on that. Now, what are you going to be learning from this module? We're going to identify your dealership's keywords. We're going to show you how to capture contact information from searches. We're going to cross-reference that information. I'm going to show you how to transfer lead information to your CRM, how to effectively follow up with everybody. So one thing I want to do is I want to get into the goals of this module. So by the end of this module, guys, I want you guys to, at least go into Google and search in a web identification vendor, right? Just type in web identification vendor. If you got your phone right in front of you, you can do that right there, right here and now. What I also want you guys to do is set up the system and confirm accurate data. So once you got this thing going, okay, then what I want you to do is I want you to partner with another company, which is a third-party company that allows you to cross-reference that information and then bridge all that information to your CRM and send out effective cold email campaigns and run retargeting ads to the people who are typing in specific things that are relative to your business. So first things first, partnering with a vendor. Where do you start? Well, we start with a Google search, right? I know that sounds simple, but just literally just type in web identification. You're going to see some vendors pop up, book a call with somebody, send them an email, do whatever you got to do. Opt in, talk to them, get on their calendar, understand it, or you guys can book a call with us and we take care of it all for you, right? One thing that you got to understand is, and I don't know if I keep missing this, these web identification companies, they do not give you information from search queries. They only give you information from people who would land on your website. So if I say anything otherwise than that, I'm just getting ahead of myself, and I just need to catch myself. But they won't allow you to do that. So if that's something that you want to do, you want to book a call with us, there should be a link somewhere around this video, in the chat, somewhere on this page, right? Just click on that, book a call, and we'll set you guys up with that. Now, first things first, or second thing that we're going to go over is capturing the right lead information. Okay, so you want to buy a list. You can actually give this information to a company called Axle Data. And so as you're accumulating your list that you're getting from your web identification company, you can take that list, you can send it over to Axle Data. They can actually go in and give you accurate information. They're pretty good. I'll say 90% of their information is accurate. This is what they look like. So you go to dataxle.com, you go to their consumer data section of their website, and then you can get that process started. Now, next thing you want to do is you want to bridge that contact to your CRM. So you want to set up a Leads Bridge account. Once you set up that Leads Bridge account, then you want to set up a bridge. Okay. From that bridge, you're going to say, okay, I'm getting this on a CSV file. So I'm going to go from the CSV file straight into my CRM, or I'm getting it from a forwarding email address. I want that to go straight into my CRM. Okay. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. If you're struggling with this, again, if you have any questions about this, this is what we do day in and day out. I actually have a couple bridges. Well, I have bridges already built out, but we do a lot with Leads Bridge. So book a call and we'll, if you ever get stumped with this, book a call and we'll get that figured out for you. And then last but not least, you need to suffocate the market. You're going to get people who are landing on your website, which you are identifying. If you book a call with us, you're going to learn how to find people who are searching in keywords relative to your dealership, and you're going to be able to grab their information. You want to suffocate these people. And what I mean by suffocation is that every time they go on Facebook, they see you. Maybe they get off of Facebook and then go on Twitter. They see you. And they're there for 3 minutes. Get off of that. Hey, you know what? I was trying to figure out how to put this thing together. Let me go on YouTube real quick. Boom, they see you. You know what? I woke up in the morning, I check my email, I go to my email, boom, they see. Like, you need to be able to suffocate these people, and so you stay top of mind. But what you don't do is you don't fatigue them on one platform. Okay, that's very crucial. You want to have as many touch points as possible. Guys, they say 3% of business, 2 to 3% of business close on the first contact. They say 2 to 5% of businesses, they say 5 to 10% of business is closed between the second and fifth contact. 80% of the business is going to be coming from the 6th to the 10th contact point, guys. And so the more times you can increase that number, okay, 6 and beyond, the more likely you are to get that lead, the more likely you are to actually close that deal, right? So this is extremely important. So again, what's covered? We're going to talk about why market suffocation. We kind of went over that a little bit. We're going to talk about what are pixels and cookies for this to work. We're going to show you guys how to effectively use the internet to stay top of mind. So this right here is a pixel. And so every platform is going to have its own pixel. So Facebook's going to have a pixel. Twitter's going to have a pixel. Facebook and Instagram are the same. YouTube's going to have a pixel. For Google retargeting, Google Analytics has a pixel, right? You're going to capture all of these pixels and you're going to place them on your site. They're just cookies. And then when people land on your site, they're going to identify their device ID. And then whenever they go back on that platform, let's say they went to your website and then went back on Google and searched something in, then now your ad is going to show up as a retargeting ad on Google. They go on YouTube. Now you're going to show up as an ad on YouTube because they visited your site. Then they go on Facebook. Now they're going to show up because they went to your website and then they jumped on Facebook, right? So these are cookies that you place on your site to suffocate these people. And then from there on out, guys, you just simply want to, again, increase your touch points, right? 80% of the business is going to come from the 6 touch points and beyond. And so this is where you make your money. This is where you stay top of mind. Guys, if someone says that they're in the market, and let's just say, for an example, it takes them 2-3 weeks to do all their research and close. If you've been touching them 5, 15, 20 times a day, not just on one platform, but everywhere for 2-3 weeks straight, you got the deal, guys. Like, you have a really good chance of getting the deal, getting the lead, getting the contact, talking to the person, and the guy's not ghosting you or the gal's not ghosting you. Okay. So this is extremely important. But anyway, guys, listen, I appreciate you taking the time out to visit this training. Hopefully this was something of value to you guys. Hopefully you guys got something from this. Again, there should be a link somewhere. You click on a link if you want to book a call. I advise everybody to book a call. We'll show you guys and walk you through this entire process and show you guys how to get it set up. So again, I appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys very soon, hopefully.